Are you confused with today's real estate market? With high interest rates and overpriced housing, it can be hard to find something to own at the right price. Available on Amazon, Getting Dollars from Dirt by author Philip H. Davis is a game-changing book that invites you to embark on a thrilling exploration of this often overlooked asset class. This book is your roadmap to unlocking the secrets of vacant land investment. Inside these pages, you will uncover the transformative power of vacant land as a wealth-building tool. Discover how to spot promising properties, assess their true value, and capitalize on market trends. From understanding zoning and permits to leveraging financing strategies, you'll gain the knowledge and confidence to make savvy investment decisions. With each page you turn, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the profound impact your investments can have on the world around you. Getting Dollars from Dirt is not just a guidebook, it's a call to action. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a curious novice, this book will empower you to tap into the immense potential of vacant land and embark on a journey toward financial freedom and a brighter future.
Recording, Tiffany recording.
Yep.
And book club.
Hey, welcome back to the Entrepreneur Beings Podcast. I'm your girl Tiffany Nicole, and that is Last Trace.
That is Last Trace.
And this is my favorite segment, the book club.
Every time.
This is my favorite segment, the book club. So let's talk about the books that have changed the way you do business or the way that you basically conduct your life. So what are some books that you guys could recommend to our audience?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Wow. First of all, it's one thing is paramount when you understand it. I've come from a tech background. It's this analogy, GIGI, right? I'm sorry, GIGO. Good in, good out. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So as a mindset, you constantly have to be, reading books or listening to books on audio and podcasts and getting as much information as possible to continue your legacy and your mindset. Because one thing is to say I want to be an entrepreneur, is another thing to actually do the work. And part of doing the work is reading, getting the knowledge, and applying that knowledge of what you're learning. Mm-hmm. So reading is fundamental, and reading is really paramount. Whether you're listening or whether you're actually doing both reading. So some of the books that have really impacted my life, we got classes like I was saying, like before the break, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? Mm-hmm. You got books like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, to get you into a business mindset by understanding the difference between being an employee, being an entrepreneur, being an investor, and things of that nature in portfolio. I listen to, it's just of course mindset stuff. I listen to a lot of Les Brown, you know what I'm saying? As far as getting the mindset, because there's a difference when you're going and you're doing the work, but you also need that extra energy and things of that sort, that I can do it. Mm-hmm. And so I listen to like motivational speakers like that get me through. I listen to a lot of, as far as leadership stuff, John Maxwell and all his other books, 21 Infallible Laws of Leadership, and things of that nature, 46 48 Laws of Power. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even from a military and a mindset, Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Come on. It's like, you have to continue to build upon your knowledge set to get you to feed your mentality, because listen, man, half the battle of entrepreneurship is just winning the battle of staying persistent and consistent, not giving up. Mm-hmm. And so that's a mindset. You gotta have a mindset. I'm not going to give up. And what's going to continue to feed that mindset is what you're reading. It's what you're putting in. Right. Because you're going to be able to get it out. Right. So. Right.
That's a few things. What else is important too? Like a lot of times, like I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, if not longer, and over the years I've taken in, I want to say like self-help information and business advice and coaching and all of that. I mean, I've taken in so much of it that I've literally heard the same things over and over and over again, the same teachings, the same lessons. Mm-hmm. However, whether or not the message sinks in depends on the delivery. Mm-hmm. It depends on where I got it from, if I read it from somewhere, if I listened to it in an audiobook. But I say that to say, sometimes you may read or hear or see things that seem to be redundant, but sometimes it's the constant hearing it or seeing it or learning it that finally one day, one way that you receive it, it just clicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes it happens for me, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to listen to this spiel again. I've heard this. I don't want to read this book again because I've read so many books like this. And then I'll see or read something and be like, damn, oh my God. Like, I mean, a total eye-open experience, and it'll be something that I've heard a million times, and I know it. I know I've heard it a lot of times. I know I was taught this thing a lot of times, but this one particular day and time, for whatever reason, it hit me totally different, and I realized that I wasn't hearing it all those other times. I realized that I wasn't comprehending it. I was just taking it in, but I wasn't comprehending the message. So it's really important to try to take information in multiple ways. Absolutely. Because you never know how the delivery is going to make you comprehend the message.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's
and
like
before I let my brother go into his books, because I know he got a plethora. My absolute favorite book I've ever read is the autobiography of Malcolm X, as told to by Alex Delon. You want to talk? I think Brother Malcolm is one of the most greatest human beings that this country has ever produced. When you took apart anybody talk about, you look at the way he grew up, the way his tutelage, how he part of his life, how he transgressed, and then how he redeemed himself through a mindset, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Nation of Islam and stuff like that, and how that's one of the greatest transitional stories I've ever seen. And so, especially as Black Americans, and especially as far as the mindset goes, I think that book is Chronic Curbery, and it's a great read. Alex Haley was a master storyteller, very easy to read, and so a very engaging book to even read. So,
thank you.
Just want to put that out there. So.
Yeah, thank you. That's a jewel.
I think what you said was what every parent hopes their child says about hearing some over and over and over again. I think that's the story of every parent. It's like, I hope today you're listening to this message I spat out every day. I'm learning that now with my 8 and 6-year-old. I'm like, oh, another day telling you the same thing. My first book that I just recently read was this book by a gentleman I know. I've met, Kevin McLemore. The Indispensable Game of X's and O's, how I learned everything I never ever needed to know about life playing high school football. I've definitely played high school football myself, and one of the biggest concepts that he hit on that I didn't know that I was living in my actual life was the concept of trading hours for dollars. And I say that because as a nurse, I've been a nurse for 20 years now, we work so long hours, we're addicted to the overtime, time and a half. In California, it's double time from 12 to 16 hours. But one thing I noticed when I had kids, that before I got into land, and my dad was the same way. He was a correction officer, and it was all about working overtime because I wanted the money. We were going for the money. We got that goal. But what we missed out on is the time we spent at home, because we're always trying to make a buck. And with doing the land business, I now am home with my kids 24 days out of the month, outside when I got to fly and leave. So I was there to watch my son take his first steps. I'm there to answer a question when my daughter has about her math. The kids experience dad being home, a father being in the home, day in and day out. The school calls me if they know there's an issue there. Not only that, I'm able to, like my kids sweeping, teaching them how to do house chores and things like that. And not only that, just enjoy being present as a parent is one of the things that land ownership has gotten me. Because I own so many land properties, and it doesn't matter if you don't have to go and buy the way I did. Even buying from me, you'll still be able to sell these properties for $5,000 to $10,000 more the day you own it from me. Which means that if you own multiple properties over time, you're still able to say, I'm going to sell you a property what I bought at $12,000 from me. Now you can sell it for $22,000 2 years later on payments to generate income the same way you've done. So it's repeatable. You can replicate it very easily over time. And when he talks about not trading hours for dollars, it's about, things that he missed with his own daughter. And you send money and you expect an outcome. And it's, you make money and you expect these outcomes. But as kids, we tend to not do what you say. We tend to watch what you do, and we follow that. So I started the same modality of working overtime. And then it always bothered me when my daughter said "dada," but I was at work. And I was like, that was her first word. My wife's like, yeah, it's her first word. And it's not being there. And now that I'm home, the kids, when they're getting off the bus, I got to be able to greet them. To the school, hey, Mr. Davis, we had a problem. Your daughter hit her head or something like that. I'm able to get up there. Every day, my kids are seeing dad at home, or more time is being spent with them than it is working at a job. And you got to find that balance. But land does give you a way of side making some extra income that you don't have to work 8 more hours for. And now I'm home, and that has been more profound than many of the other books that I've read on concept mindset. It was doing something that made me present in the home, and that's a value that I can't even say over time. And just saying how you have a black father in the home raising your kids, cooking breakfast, things like that. I get to have laughable moments with my kids. I potty train both my kids, and it's being home. And land ownership, it does that. It brings that power there where I don't have to trade in hours for dollars. And one of the things that changed my mindset through owning land, and that he talked about, where I see it kind of reverberate throughout society, is when I talk to these nurses again, I'm working overtime. I'm on my 12th day of working in a row. And not only are they trading hours for dollars, they're trading life, energy. You can see them aging on their face. And we do this stressing ourselves to try to get something that we're already getting taken away through taxes, then we're already getting taken away more through inflation. And then we come home at the end of the day and we're exhausted, and we look at our kids who say, hey, I'm so happy to be home. And the first thing we say is, I'm tired. And that has been one of the most fundamental things that I've learned about. You can't get back time. Even the money, the way they're doing it now, man, $20 will be worth $10 in a little bit. And we're on a rat race to work to make someone else rich. We're making someone else's business more prosperous. And all I'm saying is that I'm not going to be a multimillionaire through this business. I'm going to be able to look back and say I have a legacy of creating land ownership. I'll get power before I get wealth, because I'm passing on wealth for a community. I want my name to be something that my kids can look at me and say, I have a legacy of my dad brought all these people a possibility that they did not bring. Martin Luther King, did anybody know how much he made? But we are talking about him today. There's a power in a name and a legacy being passed on. For me, it is about the legacy being passed on. Now, I'm going to be okay financially, but I'm not going to be rolling in the Benz. And I don't care to be rolling in the Benz. Mine is making sure that it's changed, because if we start all falling down, it don't matter. One of us ain't going to make it that far. And it needs to change. So he really hit home about trading hours for dollars. That was just profound with me. And I saw it and how much my kids are emotionally benefiting from me being there, how they're academically benefiting, because sometimes they'll run mom ragged. And I'm there, hey, this is how it's got to be done. Follow me. And they see that, and that's what they need. They need leadership. And women, our sisters, and women in whole, they need men who can lead and be trusting into that leadership. But you got to be able to be present, to be there, to have these conversations, to work out those differences. But it's being there, not I come from home, I come from work, and we have two different worlds of misunderstanding, trying to create an outcome, and we come from two different points. We don't see each other. I spend enough time at home for my wife to get tired of me. And that's a pleasant thing to happen, right? So I've read other books, Sun Tzu, and I will say what he said about Sun Tzu's Art of War. That book is required reading for anyone in the military, businessmen, before they deal with an Asian corporation or governors, officials. They have to read that book to understand how to deal with people from Asian countries. It's required reading for them to understand that Asians plan 150 to 150 years ahead. That's how far these corporations, Honda, Nikon, These companies are planning that far ahead. So when you look at that as the competitors, and I don't know if you guys know how big the Asian countries are getting right now as far as dominancy, where do we fall as a people in that there? So again, you got people coming up from the South. They're going to surpass us as far as being a voter bloc pretty soon. The one thing we can do when we don't have numbers is have power, because we own something that sets the table at equal, because we have something else. We might be the smallest group, but we've got the biggest power. We've got a big voice to say, no, and they say we got to do this, but let someone else become the voting bloc. But we need to be the ones that people come to talk to. They got to come and make a deal. And they're not going to make a deal. Right. More than entertainers, more than just numbers that check off a box, and we see the cities keep going down and not providing resources like education, things like that. This is where we got to do it. But again, do we need a book to educate us? We need to have the conversation through ownership to educate us. Right. Because again, the food is what we buy, and that keeps costing more. But when we know how to grow it, we now can set the price now. There's a knowledge being passed down. And then we can tell them, as we all become entrepreneurs for 20 years, you can show them how to run a business. Do they need to know how to run a podcast business? No, but you have business knowledge that can now be passed down, taught within the community. Legacy knowledge is passed down. We need to stop being products and be the product. That's what we need to do, because we own things. We are not the product. We have hats, shirts, this, that. We got sneaker deals, this, but we're not the product. We're not what they desire. It's what we bring to the table, what they desire. We need to have that power and say we have the ownership. We have knowledge that's being passed down. We know how to do businesses, and that gets us back into owning banks. Because in this model, I am my own bank. I don't need to go and borrow in order to say, no, that's it. You create your own capital. And that's something we plan on teaching in the future. It's how to replicate being me. We need more than just me. And we want to be able to teach that, but that's legacy. And that's this book. I mean, every book that he's mentioned, I co-sign on, and you have tons of books back here that anyone can read and get knowledge. But the thing I want to say is trading dollars for hours is a great concept. We all have to find ways to stop trading hours for dollars, and make sure that we have something else that can generate money for us. Letting someone use our land to farm on, letting someone use our land because they have a business. You own the primary part of the land. You have an ADU or a little small place here for them to run their hair salon out of. Now they're paying you rent.
Passive income.
Yes.
See? Yep. And that's it. Don't trade hours for dollars. We gotta get off the plantation, create our own nation. And I'm talking about the plantation of the way society has grinded us down now. And it's not just us, it's in it. Everyone's in it. Now it's become a class thing. Get off the plantation. We create our own nation. We do it one lot at a time. Because a nation's built on land. It always has been. So build our own nation one lot at a time.
Basically what he's saying, saying is it's time to work smarter, not harder.
And Ancestry Lands has got you covered. They got you covered.
Well, I'm totally blown away. I really appreciate you both of you guys coming through and giving us so much information. This is very helpful in just the whole business of real estate for Black people. Like you were talking about, just making it so much easier for us. Once people grasp and understand the way Ancestry Lands works,
they have to watch that video.
They're going to jump right on it. It's a lot of serious people out here that just aren't in a position credit-wise, or maybe they're serious and they just haven't had the opportunity to get themselves together or in position to make the moves they want to make because of particular barriers to entry. And now that you've eliminated that, you just eliminated so many problems, and I just want to thank you for that. This is a lot. It's a lot. Like Tiff, did you want to add anything?
No, I'm good.
Well, I just want to say
This has been amazing. It's been amazing.
How can our viewers? I know you said Ancestry Lands on everything. Is there a website, ancestrylands.com?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ancestrylands.com.
Ancestrylands.com. Y'all gotta start a podcast too. Because y'all just full of so much information.
On our podcast, which is fine.
Yeah, y'all just full of so much good information. And it's very niche down, particular information that will be great on a podcast because people need to hear this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you have a phenomenal product.
Yeah.
And service. And yeah.
It's a lot.
Thanks again, man.
Well, number one, we just want to thank you for having us.
Did you guys want to add anything?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having us. This has been an amazing opportunity to share information, to share, just to talk and just communicate and just to bounce ideas off of, man. And it's just beautiful. So
I'm so blown away. I almost, I'm going on this website as soon as y'all leave, man, because this is just dope. It's affordable. It's easy to do.
Yes.
It makes sense. This is better than a timeshare.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
This is better than the timeshare. If you ask me, this is a lot better than the timeshare. I can't do what I want with a timeshare.
Yeah.
I'm buying I'm buying access to somebody else's property.
Right.
For a certain amount of time.
For a very short period of time.
Every other year.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm paying big money for this.
Right.
This is the same cost of a timeshare,
Right.
but I own the land and I can do what I want.
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah. And I too thank you. You know, it's one thing to be when I started this business to be to the point where I could sit down and have the conversation and be listened to. It's very humbling for me to just have that impact, to be able to speak to just truth some of the things that I've learned along the way and be able to pass that knowledge down or even just share these wow moments. So it's an honor for me to even share, a space to be able to say, hey, come talk. When we met you all at the Melanin Market, just to say, hey, these are people we want to talk to, and then to have that happen and have Eric help me on the journey to make sure that no man is an island unto himself. I can't do it alone. To have help and you all to provide a voice for us. I mean, that is the biggest thing in the world, is to be heard. Yeah. And I appreciate that so much. So yes, you can. It's very simple. Ancestrylands.com, Ancestry Lands on YouTube. Go and subscribe to our channel. I did start doing in the area. I just saw someone do something really great on the side of the yard. It's on video today. I put out on the YouTube channel on how to utilize maybe spaces a little bit bigger than this table. And someone grew grapes in a trellis, and I put up a great how-to gardening tips for people who are landowners and anyone else that owns a piece of dirt on the side of their yard to see how to do. But Ancestry Lands on Twitter, on Facebook, that's our business page. And we, on our properties, the pictures are outlined so that way you can see the shape of the lot, the footage, if there's water, power. We really try to detail it in every video. It works just like a Zillow listing. You click on the video, click on the listing, and it goes down and you'll see the video location, what is on. It's very thorough in that. And my cell phone number is right up there. You're going to call and talk to me. There's no forwarding address. There's no one in India that's going to pick up the phone. It's me. You're calling me. They'll leave me a message, text me, and I'm here to help. I really want to get people into owning land quickly and possible. And the contract, everything can be done in topsy-turvy, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to get everything where we take the property off the market and you secure it. Pick your property and get into land ownership. You don't have to build on them. You can just hold on to them. Let us work for you and build up property values and sell it later. It doesn't matter, but we're everywhere. And thank you both so much for having us here. We really appreciate it. And you'll never see land investors out in the field, out in the physical world. They always do online business. And we're here to show you that, hey, we're showing our work. We're here out talking to people, spreading that message and just being thankful for the opportunity.
Phenomenal opportunity. Get y'all some land, man. California City
Yes.
California, period. Like, it's California. Like,
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get back to California forever. This is perfect. So.
Can you imagine owning land in California? Come on, man. And this
Mike Tyson's out there, so he's already
Exactly.
rising value
What
and
are you
interest in
talking
that
about?
area. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, beautiful thing.
It's
Yes.
a no-brainer.
Pictures with the mayor too, the city of California, the mayor up there online. If you just Google Mike Tyson, California City, you'll see he bought land 2 years ago out there, 40 acres to do his resort.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's major.
you're gonna get business. The property values are gonna go up.
Just
It's
from that alone. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we got the plug, y'all. We got the plug.
Yeah.
Oh my
If
God.
me and Trace are acting different, y'all know why. Because we on land in California City. Okay?
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
I'm glad we were able to bring this to y'all.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Entrepreneurs podcast. We have done a wonderful interview with Ancestry Lands. Thank you guys for coming. And stay tuned, y'all. Make sure y'all watch the after show too. We're going to be dropping some more jewels for y'all
Yes.
there. So, thank you again. And cut.